These 5 hubs have been factory reset. We are going to begin the process by connecting to each one of them in turn and resetting them, or updating them rather, using a phone that has the current release of the official Recoil software, simply by connecting to their broadcast SSIDs, which you can also see I have labeled them. For example, the first one that we're going to be using as the master is labeled as Delta 2 Echo Echo 66. So once we go ahead and connect to it, we are going to simply power up a Recoil client, like so, and choose Connect to Battle. It will then go ahead and go through and update that particular hub with the current version of the Recoil release software, which is 1.0.099. Upon letting this one finish, we'll go ahead and restart it like the software requests, and then move on and do the remaining 4. Next one on our list is Delta 4 3 Delta Echo 3 connected there. Maybe you can see it, maybe not. Same process. Go back to the Recoil software, start a battle, and let it go ahead and perform the update. Our next hub is Delta 4-3 Alpha Bravo Delta. Again, we're just going to connect to it, right? Start the Recoil software, press battle. Again, I'm only powering them down after the software has told me that the update was successful. Next one is Delta 32B45. And the last one, Delta 1. Alright, we can go through, power them back up. And then move over to your computer. You can do all this from a phone, it just takes a lot more hunting and pecking on the little tiny keyboards. You will need the WDS page from the Laser Swarm Wiki, address up at the top and in the bar here. You'll need an SSH client. I prefer to use PuTTY. It's free, reliable, simple. We're going to go ahead and we're going to connect to our first Recoil hub, which we're going to designate as the master. And it ends in Delta 2 Echo Echo 66. Go down the list. Delta 2 Echo 66. We're going to connect to it. Once we've done so, we can come back over to the PuTTY client. You're going to connect to the user root at 11.11.11.1. Alright, now all the Recoil hubs use the same IP address, and they all have different SSH fingerprints. So you're going to get security warnings because PuTTY's thinking is, oh, I'm connecting to the same address with a bunch of different security IDs. We know this, so go ahead and click yes. Once you have a login prompt here, make sure we can talk to it. We're going to scroll down the Recoil WDS page off of the wiki, and I'm not going to type anything. I'm going to cut and paste everything from this page. Right click, copy, come over to PuTTY and just right click in the window, and that will paste whatever you've copied. This way we know that I haven't made any mistakes and we're using everything off of the page. Now, we do need to press a couple keys because we're in an editor. So we need to press the I key to go into insert mode. So we're going to come over here and we're going to press I. And then we are going to copy everything that is in this code block. Copy. Come over to PuTTY, right click, puts it all in there for you. Then we are going to press escape and then :WQ after I take the caps lock off. We're going to add the executable bit that tells this copy of Linux running on the hub that yes, indeed, you can treat that like a program. And then we are going to run that program. The master script is probably the most invasive because it also takes the current working copy of the Recoil program that's in the firmware, rewrites some names of some network interfaces, and then copies it back into the flash. And it goes through and tells you what it's doing while it's doing it. Now, if you read this, copy down this address, you will use it later. So important that I said it again. Copy down this address, you will use it later. So we are going to do exactly that. In PuTTY, all you have to do is highlight the line and it will copy it. We're going to start a notepad and we're going to paste it so we have it for later. Okay, we're going to put it right over here somewhere. How about right there? And then please finish, power off. Alright, so it says we're going to turn it off, and then as soon as that's done, we're going to power it back on and set it aside. Alright, turn that back on. Now the first network client that we're going to make is this one here. It is Delta 43, Delta Echo 3, and I've assigned it IP address number 65. So we're going to come back here, we're going to reconnect a network connection, find Delta 43, Delta Echo 3, connect to it. When we change network, Wi-Fi networks, of course, PuTTY is going to get disconnected, hence the error. But we can now come back up here in the context menu and just say restart session. It's going to complain that the security fingerprint is incorrect. It's a different device. Yes, we know this. Now we're going to move on to making the clients. This being our first client, we're going to go down here, and again, we're going to copy this, and over in PuTTY, we're going to right click to paste. This puts us back in our VI editor. So we're going to press I to go into insert mode, and then we are going to copy the making client script, or the make client script. Again, the whole code block. Copy. Come back over to PuTTY, right click. It goes ahead and inserts it all for us. We're going to then press escape and then :WQ. Enter, of course. Then, just like before, we need to tell the hub that, yes, treat this as a program using the chmod command. And then go ahead and run that program. Enter the MAC address. This is the MAC address from the client, or excuse me, from the master hub that we checked earlier. Again, just copy, right click in PuTTY to paste it, make sure that it's correct and there's no trailing spaces on the end of it. Press enter. It's going to ask you again, is this correct? Yes. I could probably get rid of that. And we have chosen the IP address number 65 for this particular hub. A little bit of information spewed back from that application. And now we can again power that off and then power it back on. So we're going to power it off, let the settings take effect, and power it back on. While it's doing that, we can go ahead and move on to the next client. There's no reason to wait. 43 ADB. So let's look down here. 43 ADB. I'm going to connect to that one. PuTTY is going to say problem. Fine. Go ahead and restart that first one while we're waiting. Restart the putty session. Of course, new device, the SSID, or excuse me, the security ID is going to be wrong. Yes, we know that. And we come right back up to the top of this page, well, middle of the page, and we're going to make our second client. Copy, paste, enter, I for insert, copy the code block, right click to paste, escape, :WQ, enter. Add the execute bit, enter. Run the program, enter the MAC address, confirm that it's correct. This one is going to be number 66. And then we're going to move on to 32B45. Connect. Restart this one. Restart our putty session. Acknowledge the security key is changed. We're going to scroll back up and start the client process one more time. Copy, right click to paste, enter, I for insert, copy the code block, right click to paste, escape, :WQ, to write and quit is what that stands for, by the by. Copy the command to add the execute bit. So yes, treat that script as a program. And then run the program. Enter the MAC address. Confirm that it's correct. And this is going to be number 67. I'm going to go ahead and shut that one off. While that's working, we're going to connect our Wi-Fi to the last one, which is, well, it'll be the only one left. Right there. Gotta love the Windows 10, right? Go ahead and let the putty session restart. Go ahead and restart this third client hub. Acknowledge that the security key has changed yet again. And start the client configuration for the fourth and final time. Copy, paste, enter, I for insert mode, copy the entire code block, right click for paste, escape, :WQ for write and quit, enter. Add the execute bit so we can run it as a program. Run the program. feed it the MAC address, copy, right click for paste from the master hub, confirm that it is correct, and this is 68. Alright, we may now power that one off. Now we come back to our SSID list, and lo and behold, other than the fact that that one's still shutting down, you'll notice there are no more Recoil hubs except the WDS version of the hub. Go ahead and connect to that. And we will also turn the fourth hub back on. Go ahead and restart the PuTTY session. Now, technically right now you're done. But what we're going to do is we're going to log back into the master, right, which is now called Recoil Hub WDS. And then we are going to see if we can talk to all of the other clients. Ping 11.11.11.65. That is the first hub, or the first client. 66 is the second client. 67 is the third client. And 68 is the fourth client. So they have all logged in successfully and registered themselves with the master hub. If we want a little additional information, we can open another web browser here. And of course, we don't actually have any internet access. But if we point it at 11.11.11.1, we have a couple new pages here. I've created a status page that every minute will go through and query the statuses of the other 4 client hubs. As you can see, there's not much going on right now because there's not much to report. There's also a temp folder here. I created some mappings for this. If you wanted to use the primary hub to distribute, say, a package of Simple Coil to a bunch of Android phones that you're out in the field with and you don't particularly want to go to the internet and grab those, you can do that from here by SCPing or SSHing, rather SCP, secured copy, a copy of that APK up to that temp folder, and then it will be browsable from the hub to any of the phones that are connected to it. Lastly, we're going to go through the process of reverting them back to their stock default configurations. So now that we have the system all functional and working, we're going to go back and we're going to nuke it all. Right? We can do that all from one PuTTY terminal connected to the master hub. If they're all connected together, talking to the master, you can SSH either using PuTTY, individual PuTTY connections, to root at 11.11.11.65.66.67.68, whichever one you're working on. Or, again, security problems. Or, we're going to go ahead and close this. You can do it from one PuTTY terminal from the master host by doing SSH root at 11.11.11. Let's start at the top, 68. So we'll do it from number 4 down. Go ahead and SSH into it. Oh, key changed. We'll do it with PuTTY. 11.11.11.68. The command is called first boot, and we use the tech Y to acknowledge that it is a destructive command. And then we issue and reboot. What this does, first boot will wipe everything from the higher level flash, so any changes we've made, and revert it back to its pre-retail configuration. So this would be the configuration that would happen when they were produced or manufactured and programmed for the first time. And reboot tells it to do a restart in place, because there are some startup scripts that happen during the first cycle. And what we're going to want to do is give it about a minute to go ahead and rerun all of the original startup scripts. And while it's doing that, we're going to go ahead and do number 67, which is client number 3. So again, first boot, yes, and reboot. Gonna do it again. 11.11.11.66 for the second client. First boot, and reboot. And if you miss the TAC Y, it'll ask you, are you sure? Yes, we are. And lastly, not lastly, last client, 11.11.11.65. First boot, yes, and reboot. The last one we're going to do is the master itself. So we're back here at .1, and we're going to tell it also first boot, yes, and reboot. As you can see here, the Wi-Fi from the WDS hub has been, the beacon has gone away. So what we can do here, we're going to go back through and shut these off. Turn them back on. And now it is as if they were pulled out of a retail box and you were powering them up for the first time. Can be verified by reconnecting with your cell phone to one of the beacons. We'll use the master one again at D2E66. And once you're connected to back to D2E66, rerunning the Recoil app, going into a battle, and it's saying, oh wait, I have to re-update the firmware on the hub. That's all there is to it. Hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, hit us up on the Laser Tag Modders page on Facebook, or drop lines on the Laser Swarm wiki. They're the Recoil headers. Thanks much. Have a great day.